that so many people signed up for this on Tuesday. We ran this webinar on Tuesday, and I didn't want to record it. I just said, no, let's just do it one and done. And we had so many people that then they couldn't get in. So it locked people out. And so we decided, all right, let's do it one more time. And probably we're going to repeat it again because it's just one of those topics that's so popular. So today we're going to really look at the frustration a lot of people go through because you're on social media. Some people, you spend a lot of time there hoping to get a good return, and then the frustration sets in when you're not getting that, you're not generating leads, or you're not getting business from it. And for those of you who don't know who I am, obviously we're connected somewhere in the social universe, but my name is Gina Schreck, and I'm the president and the founder of Social Connects. And I started this business 21 years ago, so it's kind of strange thinking of the journey that we've been on in 21 years. I started out before social media, and I went out and worked with organizations, helping them with their sales and marketing face-to-face, and I traveled a ton. And then about 10 years ago, I was speaking at a conference, and people came up and said, could you just manage this for us? We just don't have the resources to do it. So 10 years ago, we built a whole side of our business, and we have community managers, bloggers, we have a team of 18, a couple website folks, and I'm forgetting, we have newsletters, graphic artists, but the whole team manages social marketing for folks. And so we know in 10 years, we're paid to get results for companies, and we work with large companies, small companies, big franchise organizations. And so we've really had to evolve with social media. And I still talk to people who say, I'm so frustrated, I don't even think social media works, or I spend so much time on there and nothing happens. So that's my goal, is that I'm going to give you, and if you don't have a pencil, pen, paper, I don't even write with pen and paper anymore. So open up your notes, whatever you have to take notes, because you're going to walk away from this with some specific things you can implement today to start generating leads. So we're just going to dive right into that. And again, if you are just joining us, make sure you've got your chat window open. There's an area that you can put questions. And I think the only difference between chat and questions, some people have a question they don't want to throw out to the group, so it's just coming to me. And then others are putting things in the chat area for the world to see. So feel free. So we're talking social here. Let's get social. So let's look at, I'm curious from you, and you can again throw this in the chat area. What is your greatest challenge when it comes to social media in your business? Not your greatest challenge with your mom being on Facebook all the time, but what's your greatest challenge with your business and social media? I'm curious. Needing more followers. Oh gosh, that's okay. See, that's an easy one for me to fix for you. I can give you all kinds of tips on that one. Yeah, followers. Oh, see, some of you are putting it in the question. That's all right. Put it wherever you want. Time. I see 3 people saying time. I don't have time. Need to figure out how to make money from social. Yeah, that's why you're here. Like, how do I actually make money from social media? Because it's great for connecting with folks, and you meet all kinds of brilliant people and wonderful people, but now how do you actually convert that into business? And that's one of these, getting leads from likes. Duh. Yeah, that's the big duh that brought us all here, right? Gloria, that's great. Same as Sandy. Yeah, so time, not having enough time, trying to figure out how to get the leads generated, and then what do we do with them? So I'm going to go briefly over some of the main channels that we are going to look at, how we convert these likes into leads. And on Facebook, this is an area that there's still, even though it's a love-hate relationship we all have with Facebook, there are 3 reasons you should have a business page, even though the frustration is that it's so hard to get people to even see your posts that you put on Facebook. And I was just speaking to a woman yesterday, and she was just launching her business, brand new business owner, and she said, my goal is to have 5,000 fans on my Facebook page. And I said, let me kind of challenge you on that. Because it really doesn't, oh, see, and Gail, that's what you said, is getting people to like our Facebook page or follow us on LinkedIn. Here's something that was an epiphany to us. A couple years ago, we realized, it doesn't really matter whether you have 100 fans on your page or you have 100,000 fans on your page. The key is once you have a Facebook business page, you can utilize some of the benefits of a business page like the analytics and most importantly, advertising. And we started running these lead campaigns where we were getting more leads from Facebook than we had fans on the page. So it's great to have an engaged community on your Facebook page, but don't put so much effort into trying to get engagement because Facebook's just not showing you your content to your fans unless you're paying. And that's actually part of, I always say you should set aside a budget, but you also should know what you're doing when it comes to running ads. People are just, boosting posts and that's not really helping you. You want to have a strategy to convert these people who see that content into a lead that you can get, follow up with them and actually close business. So the 3 reasons I would say advertising. Your second important part is analytics, really getting to know who that audience is and what time of day is good to post and all the important things that are given to us in the analytics on Facebook. And the third reason that you should have a business page is so that your friends and family don't hate you. I think it's funny that, I see these pages or these people that I'm connected with their profile and all they do is, I call it spamming, some call it promoting their own business. But when I connect with someone on a personal profile, especially if they're friends or family, I don't necessarily want them to always sell me something. So the business page, drive them there, drive your friends and family there who are interested in your topic, your business, but use your business page to really promote your business. And one thing that's actually better than a business page, you guys probably, some of you know this and have already used this. Any guesses? Throw that out there. Oh, yep, great. Dave says a group. And that's right, a Facebook group is actually better right now than a Facebook business page. And I don't want to say you should only use a group because there are pieces of that you can do really well. As a business can't necessarily start a group. So you personally have to start the group and facilitate. But groups are fabulous because you can actually get everyone that you put, or everyone that's in the group gets a notification every time you post content. So, and I went on a rant the other day on Facebook Live over groups, that people are in groups, but they don't participate. Oh, thanks, Sandy, for letting me know. That's weird. I'm hardwired in. Is anyone else having sound issues with my voice breaking up? Let me know because I'll check on this end, but I am hardwired. I never want to do Wi-Fi when I'm doing webinars, but okay. So maybe Sandy, maybe it's, I don't know if you're on Wi-Fi. It could be the sound on that end, but thanks for definitely point that out when you're having issues. Sandy, just get a Q-tip. It's probably just that. I'm just teasing. But a group is great. And the rant I went on is so many people join groups or they're part of a group and they never participate, which is fine because people put you in groups on Facebook. But then don't jump in the group when you need something and ask for someone to help or ask this group to help you promote something. So I was kind of on a rant the other day about that. And but groups are really a powerful strategy. And I don't know if any of you in this webinar right now are in the real estate business. We work with several realtors, and groups are the powerhouse. And really now we've started using them for other businesses, a place where you can provide a community area for people to share, but then you can ask questions, get the challenges from the group. What's their biggest challenge? You can create content and serve it back to that group that they've asked for. So, and that's going to come up when we start talking about how to put that together as a lead generation tool. On Twitter, I love Twitter, and it makes me sad when people are saying Twitter's going down. My 20-year-old daughter, the Shreklet, some of you hear me talking about the Shreklet. The Shreklet was early on. I was on Twitter before she was, but she then got on, and all her friends were on Twitter when she was in high school. And now college, they're on Snapchat and Instagram, and that's it. And she keeps saying, Twitter's dead, Twitter's dead. Yeah, I know, Stephen, the Shreklet is grown. The Shreklet, we're almost ready to kick her out of the nest. She still has 2 more years of college. So we're letting her stay here occasionally. But Twitter is one of those things that it's not dead, and interestingly, it's the demographics is aging. So we see more and more. As a matter of fact, one of the statistics is the fastest growing demographic on Twitter is the grandparents age, which I don't even know what that means. 45, 50, when, could be 50-year-olds becoming grandparents at that age, but they're the most active and fastest growing on Twitter right now. So I look at and say on Twitter, a couple things: connect strategically. Too many people fall for the thing of buying followers because they want to get a lot of big numbers. But if you're not connecting with the right types of people, it's going to be hard to convert into leads after that. So connect strategically. Use hashtags to search for people to follow. Use tools where you can search geographically. Again, this is another really great tool if you're a local business. Go into the advanced search on Twitter and type in a keyword or key phrase, and then geo-target, say within 50 miles, who's using this term or who's using these keywords, and you'll be amazed at the people you can connect with right in your own area, or connect by zip codes for local businesses. So connect strategically and use those advanced search features that are available on Twitter, because you want a great Twitter audience that you can engage with. And if people aren't using Twitter, I always tell them, start out by following 25 smart people. Too many people say there's just a bunch of blathering people on Twitter. Well, then I don't know who you're following, but you need to unfollow those people and follow smart people. Who are the thought leaders in your industry? Find and follow them, and then start connecting with people within the industry you're trying to serve. So again, this is going to be important when we start looking at lead generation with this group. Instagram, how many of you, now there's another feature on here I forgot to mention on your on that bar there, it's called raising your hand. And how many people use Instagram for your business, not personally, but raise your hand if you see that feature there. So if you see it, but yeah, some of you are using Instagram for business, and then some of you are just using it personal. And I always say, the key is not yet. Yeah, I always say when there's a new platform, Jamal, my tip is get on board with your personal account. So you can I'm on Snapchat. I've actually been on Snapchat for a couple years because I have 20 and 25-year-olds that are on Snapchat. I have to keep them freaked out a little bit. Always jump on those things to keep them running. But they always want to, Snapchat and send me things and all the goofy filters and things that are on Snapchat. And so I play with it, but we're not using it for our business because it's not our demographic that we're after. And we haven't had any of our clients ask us to use Snapchat yet, which we're not serving any clients that serve that under 30 group yet. So, but there are some fun things that I'm wanting to try on there with the little geotag filter that you can put on, and some of those. But anyway, on Instagram, the way to really build your Instagram following is hashtags. It's one of those things that hashtags on Twitter are important. They always say if you can add at least 1 or 2 hashtags to a tweet, it increases the engagement on that tweet. And it actually doubles the engagement on a tweet if you put 1 to 2. But if you put more than 2, it decreases the amount of engagement. First of all, I don't know how you can fit more than 2 hashtags in your tweet. But on Instagram, you've got a lot of room. So on Instagram, the key is you want the sweet spot with hashtags is 11 hashtags. So if you're not putting any hashtags, people probably aren't even finding you, because unlike Twitter, it's not that you go and you search geographically or you're searching. Most people just go discover, or they'll click on a hashtag as a keyword, and they want to see who's putting content out using that hashtag. And so if you're not using hashtags, you're missing out. So you want to discover what are your top hashtags. Look at some of the thought leaders in your industry, or look at, if you go to Discover, it shows you the 9 most popular accounts first. Those are the 9 images that it features, and those are usually the ones that have 4,000 comments or 4,000 likes on every picture, but take a look and see what hashtags those accounts use. I keep a list. I'm a Mac person, so I have the sticky notes, but you can, make a note somewhere, wherever you keep all that type of information, but start a list of hashtags. And I keep them on my computer. That way, when I'm creating content, regardless of what computer I'm on, I can pull up all my hashtags and then just copy some of them and paste them in instead of having to, retype them all. Oh, Jamal, yeah, Snapchat's not really for business. That's interesting because that's kind of how I feel, unless your business serves that younger demographic. But there are some really cool things. Like we've been talking to a couple hotels that we work with about creating just the little tag that people can take their pictures and then they can slide and select the filter. It's not a filter. It's a geotag, but it would have their hotel name, and they sponsor that. So it's like $65. So there are some ways that businesses can kind of sneak in some things to get their brand spread. But again, it doesn't make sense if that's not your audience. But back to Instagram, hashtags are key, and then following other people is key. Just like on Twitter, some people just wait for others to follow them. And I say, you have to go out and find and follow like 50 to 100 new people every day. Find and follow new people all the time. And maybe it's not every day, but that's usually our target is 50 to 100 new people. And again, if you do a quick search of a hashtag for a conference or something, you can follow 50 people like that. On Instagram, there are a couple tools that will help you. And one tool, well, there's actually two that we use. One is called Leal. And at the end of this webinar, I have a list for you of tools. So if you're trying to write them all down right now, just hold off because I'm going to give you a whole list of them. But Leal is one that you can go in and you can schedule. The thing about these places, and there's actually several out there, I don't know. We've checked into Leal and wanting to make sure it's legit, that we're not going to get the account shut down using it. But Leal, WISEL.IT. Leal, you can go in, upload your picture, put your post, your hashtags, and say, I want this to go out tomorrow at 7 p.m. And it does. It just posts it for you. And we've been using it for about 8 months with several accounts. Probably 30 accounts are on Leal. And then we also use Hootsuite because we have all of our accounts in Hootsuite. We also can use Hootsuite, and the way Hootsuite works is a little different. You can load the image, write your post, put your hashtags, schedule it all out for the week. But then let's say there's a Instagram post scheduled to drop at 1 o'clock today. I'm going to get a notification on my phone saying it's time to post that for that account. So the community managers can choose to do it that way. And the only advantage is if you're already in Hootsuite scheduling content, it saves time than having to log into another tool. And so for time saving, although you're then having to still, when you get the notification, you open it. And actually, first step is you make sure you're logged in to the right account on Instagram. And I love the fact that now you can have like 5 accounts that you're logged in on your phone and just switch back and forth. And scheduling with photos, is it available free? No, Leal is paid. Hootsuite, see, we pay like $3,000 a month for Hootsuite, but we have an enterprise account. Are there any free users of Hootsuite? I think it is available for your one account. So as long as you're managing a single business account, then you can load the image, and just like you're scheduling on Twitter, schedule it on Facebook, and you select Hootsuite. Not Hootsuite. You select Instagram. It should work for free, because I think it's only when you start adding more community managers or more accounts that they start charging. So if you're on the free version of Hootsuite, oh yes, Christopher says, yes, I use the free version. Yeah, so it's awesome because you'll get the notification and you log into that account, and then the good thing is you don't have to type everything again. So it then pastes the whole thing for you, your hashtags, everything, and you just say post, and it goes out. So there are some ways to be strategic. And when we start looking at lead generation things, the only downside that I keep hoping will change, there's no clickable links inside your Instagram post. So if you're using a lead magnet for a lead generation campaign, you have to go in and change the link on your bio for each one. So, and a lot of people do that for each blog post and for different things, but you have to go in and put the lead page or landing page link up in your bio so that then you can, and I don't know if any of you saw this morning, we posted a couple things yesterday, I think, about this webinar, but then this morning I was actually having to drive my husband to go pick him up. He was dropping off his motorcycle at the Harley place, and I had to go pick him up. And I'm driving, my hair was still wet and everything, and I just pulled over. I was like, I'm going to do a quick video to remind people of this webinar. And I had first had to go in, make sure the link was up in my bio so that I could just quickly do a video and say, be sure to join us on the webinar. The link's in our bio. So there's some things you can do on Instagram. It's not as hard, but since Facebook owns it, let's all hope that it starts getting a little easier to get things done with Instagram for business. But let's talk about lead magnets, because this is the missing piece on most people's social media. I call it the universe, your content universe. And when we create a content universe, everything should pull people into the core of your business and to help you generate leads. And lead magnets are they have a huge gravitational pull for your potential clients. And a lead magnet has to be something of value that people will exchange their email address for. So if I put out something that says, here's my favorite tip for Instagram growth, give me your email address for that. Most people would say, get out of town. Like, I'm not going to give you my email address for one tip. I can Google tips and get that. So the content that you're putting into a lead magnet has to be valuable enough that people will exchange their email address for. But if you can put together some lead magnets, and more than one, and we'll look at how to do that easily, it's going to draw people to give their email address. And the more specific your lead magnet is, the better, because it can qualify your leads for you based on what they're downloading. An example would be, let's say that I'm a realtor and I have a lead magnet that says, here are 25 things you have to do before you put your house on the market. If you want to get more money, whatever you want to put it, but you title it. So I make a list of 25 things. Basically, it's an epic blog post, or it's a really great list of things. Now, if somebody downloads that item and they exchange their email address, okay, if I'm a realtor, I know that that's a hot lead that's probably ready to put their home on the market. So it's already qualified my lead for me. So the more specific your lead magnet is, the better it is. Although some, you're just wanting to draw people in so that they start getting familiar with you and your content. So let's take a look at our universe. Get in our spaceship, and we're going to go into our content universe. It starts with knowing what your core is. And as obvious as that sounds, it's still not that obvious to a lot of people. So you have to be able to get what it is that you do, and very specific. So, and again, I'm going to try and give you some actual examples here. So here's some right off the bat. A graphic designer helps companies tell their stories through beautiful graphic design and imagery. That's still, to me, a little bit vague, because what kind of companies? You can specify, like, I help large companies, or I help startup companies, or I help women-owned businesses tell their story through beautiful. Because if I can be more specific, the content I create can be more specific, and it's more likely to draw the right audience than a general audience. One realtor that we work with, actually, it's interesting because she's probably the most niched I've seen, but she actually works with not just women, but she markets only to women that are going through a divorce or have lost their spouse. And she helps them, she empowers them with financial information and helps them buy and sell property. And she can, like, we can come up with all kinds of great content that's very specific for that market, and it's going to draw faster the right audience. We help busy people with healthy snacking options on the go. That's another one of our clients, and their core is really providing stuff within, like, airport snack shops that are healthy options instead of all the junk that you see in airports. And now she's spread into other stores and Whole Foods and things like that. But and you can see the example at the bottom. I help investors buy homes that they'll use as rental properties. That content, even though both the second example and the last example are both realtors, those examples would be very different when you come to creating your content that will draw people in. So your first step is just understanding how specific can I get with the core that I'm trying to reach. And I see a bunch of questions. Sorry, I need to bounce back and forth to the Q&A. Is there a how-to for Hootsuite? Oh yeah, Gloria, they have Hootsuite University. I think it's $21 for a month, and you can watch all these videos and get, but there's, you know what, I always tell people, go to YouTube and type in whatever question you have. I guarantee there's a video on it. There's videos for everything on YouTube, but there are a lot of, and Gail says you can do up to 3 accounts. Thank you for the free Hootsuite. I thought they charged now for that, but yeah, we kind of pay through the nose, but we use so much of we have an account that can do all kinds of really cool stuff. And how to find relevant hashtags for Twitter or Facebook. I think finding hashtags, I usually start with conferences that I attend, or conferences that our clients are attending, and then I start looking at who are the top people that are using hashtags there and what other hashtags. So we call it mining, because you kind of tap into one person and then you see who do they follow, and then who do they follow and what hashtags are they using, and you kind of start a little list of hashtags that are being used out there. So definitely for Facebook, it's interesting. The jury is still out on whether hashtags are working for you on Facebook, but I still use them because I have clicked on them before to search for content. So I say use them. But thanks for throwing those questions in there. Okay, so planets. So we have our core. You guys, we talked about what your core is. Now the planets that circle around the sun are your lead magnets. So a lead magnet, again, is anything of value that someone's going to exchange their email address for. And let's think of what your possible planets could be. A webinar is a great planet because you guys came and signed up for this webinar. And we all sign up for webinars. So webinars are great lead magnets. Tip sheets, if they're valuable tips, a tip sheet could be a great lead magnet, and that's probably the easiest to put together. Webinars tend to be the highest converting lead magnet. Tip sheets are probably the most downloaded of the content pieces that we put together, because people want tips. They want quick tips. They want quick answers. They want, tell me the activities that I should be doing on my social media, or depending on your business, put together what are your top tips. If you're using a Facebook group, this is where a tip sheet can be used. You can ask your Facebook group, what's the greatest business challenge you face? Or you can reverse it and say, what is your best business tip for the community? And then you take the questions. If they're putting their challenges, then you write a tip sheet answering the challenges that they put in there. And then you create this PDF, because all it is, you're creating a Word doc, save it as a PDF, and then you're going to offer it back. I've put together the list that all of you contributed to, and usually if we contribute to something, we want to download it, so we're willing to exchange our email address for it. It could be a lot of people. If you have a local business, you could say, what's your favorite, again, a good one for realtors, what's your favorite dog park in the area? And everybody puts their favorite dog parks, and you compile it for them, and now you've got a book of lists for them. We've done campaigns where we ask our community to share their favorite smoothie recipe. And then this is for fitness studios that we manage, and we'll ask for smoothie recipes, and everybody wants to contribute, and they get to put their byline in there, and then we compile it into a PDF, a little cookbook of sorts, and we offer it back free in exchange for an email address. So, those are just some ideas for your planets, for the actual planets. And here's some others. We have a person who's a speaker, and she has tips to improve communication I think she even has it more specific, like during difficult meetings. You can have, again, realtors, 25 tips for greater curb appeal, industry reports, articles, white papers, best of lists, videos. What other things? Any of you have some lead magnets that you've created, or something that you can think of that might be another really good lead magnet? I'm sorry, I'm reading questions. Sandy says the free version of Social Oomph doesn't allow scheduling. Yeah, and neither does Sprout Social. We were using Sprout Social a couple years ago, and theirs isn't free. Okay, no one has an idea for another lead magnet? Okay, well, I guess that's why you guys are here. You need to get these ideas. You're looking at me going, hey, you're supposed to tell us. Think of a lead magnet as any expertise that you have that you can put down, whether it's in writing, whether it's in video, could be on a webinar, either one would be great as a lead magnet. Now, my suggestion is do an inventory. Usually when we start working with people, we always say, let's put together a content inventory. What do you have? Do you have ebooks written, which is another great lead magnet that we didn't say? Ebooks are great. So do you have ebooks? Do you have little booklets? Do you have tip cards? What can you repurpose? Maybe freshen it up with some new graphics if it's older, and save it as a PDF, and it becomes one of your lead magnets. And you want to create a couple. I always try to start with 3 to 5, is come up with 3 to 5 lead magnets. It doesn't mean you have to wait until you have 3 to 5, but if you have 3 to 5, then you're not just marketing one. You've got several. So on your website, you can put a different one on different pages. At the bottom of your blog post, every one of your blog posts should have a lead magnet at the bottom, so that you're constantly converting into leads. And then you take that same lead magnet and those become social media posts. So those are what I call the stars. The stars are all your social media posts, and those are floating around your planets and the core. So you've got your core. What is your main message? You've got your lead magnets out here, and you've got your stars. So all you're going to do with your lead magnets is then create graphics and posts around each of your lead magnets. And then you're going to put those into circulation. So you're going to have a PDF. So here's the actual process. So some of you are still going, I still don't get it. Like, how do I give them the PDF and ask for their email address? So the steps are, you create your content inventory. So you have your lead magnets identified and created. Create those first. Then your second step is you're going to need to have a landing page created, or we use lead pages. Would a price comparison list be a lead magnet? Yeah. Shyly asking. I love that. Yeah, you know why? There are people who put out as a matter of fact, we just had a blogger who wrote, she compared one product of our customers and 2 others. And then she wrote this epic blog comparison, and that became a great lead magnet because it was something that a lot of people were searching for. So if it's something people are wanting that they can't find easily, you're doing the work for them, and it becomes a great lead magnet. And you'll know if nobody downloads it, okay, maybe you need to add something to it, but it could definitely be a lead magnet. As a matter of fact, I just downloaded one from a group called the Membership Guys, and they create memberships. Well, they have a community, and it's all around membership sites. They don't actually build the sites, but they had a comparison chart, and it was just all the different WordPress plugins for membership to build a membership site, and they just compiled their comparisons work that they had already done. I totally downloaded it. And then guess what? They sent me an email. I ended up joining the membership site from the Membership Guys. So it works. I'm telling you, it converts. It works. It works. It works. And all of us have done that. So yeah, think of creative lead magnets and test them. If they don't work, you're not out any skin. You've already compiled it. Now make a blog post out of it and give it away for free. But if it's something that you can get people to download, it's great. Now, one of the tools we use is called Lead Pages, and Lead Pages is an easy way to create a landing page. They already have templates, and you go in and click a template, and you connect it to your email service. So whether it's Constant Contact, Aweber, MailChimp, whatever, HubSpot, you connect the Lead Pages account to your email so that when somebody downloads the lead magnet, it automatically puts their email address into your email, your service you're already paying for, or it might be a free service. But you want to integrate it so that you don't have to have people email you and ask for the document, and you're emailing them, and then you have to go and put their email into your contact database. No. Sign up for, MailChimp, Constant Contact, they'll have free version, or I know MailChimp is free until you have so many thousand contacts, and then you pay based on the number of contacts you have, and that's a great one to start with. To me, I like MailChimp. We have a lot of people that use MailChimp, and it's easy. So you have your lead magnet. Now you have your lead page. If you have somebody who manages your website, someone who built your website, somebody who's more technical than you might be already technical and you're doing this yourself. But if you're not, a web person can also build a landing page and lead capture form on your website. You may not even need lead pages. So if you have someone, then have them do it. You just say, I need a landing page for this download, my lead magnet, and here's what I want on there. I want this picture, and I want this copy written, and then I just need a form that asks for their name and their email address. It's going to drop the email address into your email. So again, if you're not a technical person, don't let that paralyze you, because this is usually where people go, okay, this is too confusing. I can't do it. It's worth paying somebody 1 hour of work to get this part set up. And if you don't have somebody that can do it for you, I always say go to Fiverr or go to Elance, or you could just throw it out on Twitter. Who knows how to build a landing page? But I'll tell you, to set up a lead page is less than an hour. We've asked people all over, how long does it take you the first time you set up a lead page to get it started? And if any of you are using lead pages out here, I'm curious how long it took you the first time to connect it, because it's usually about an hour of your time. You have to do the integration with your email service. You put in your password and stuff, and it connects there, and it says what list do you want them going into, and you select that. Then it says upload your lead magnet, and you just click upload and select the document. Now you click on a template that you want, and you change the colors and the things. So creating a lead pages account should not take you more than an hour. If it does, and if you're not a technical person, pay somebody and only pay for an hour of their work, because somebody who's doing it for a living can probably do it in 15 minutes. Guaranteed. Should we worry about our own copyright on lead magnets, or just expect it to go into the ether? I would definitely put a copyright on it. Yeah, I would. I mean, it's your written content, so it's definitely copyright protected, and you don't have to do anything unless you want to trademark certain things. But yeah, it should be copywritten and copyright protected. And when you're sending out, it's just like giving somebody a book, an ebook. You're exchanging the ebook for payment. They still can't go and make copies of it. So I hope that answers your question on that one. Gloria says, best summer entertainment? What is? Are lead magnets, or just watching me entertain? I don't know. Let's see. What would a price? Oh, I already answered that question. Okay, great. I'm going back and make sure I got all the questions. So you need a lead page or landing page to capture the email address and then deliver a piece of content. Again, this can be done by your web manager, or it can be done by somebody to create this. Lead pages, if you're moderately, like I always say, if you know how to load your own blog post, your technical abilities are pretty good. You may not know how to build a website, but you can load, or you can write and load a new web blog post, and you know how to put tags and meta description in there. You could learn lead pages and do this in an hour. So that's kind of my pitch on that. Now, once you have your lead magnet, now all you're going to do is create a graphic. and you're going to put a graphic and you're going to hyperlink to your landing page. So let me show you some examples. So these were a couple that I created, and I use Canva. And you could use any graphic tool that you just take up an image and then you put what the title of your lead magnet is, and then you're going to hyperlink this. Or for example, in Twitter, if I'm using my lead magnets on Twitter, I'm going to load my image that's right here, and then in my tweet I'm going to put, here's a white paper on blah blah blah, and I have the link that takes them to the landing page. So they go to the landing page, they exchange email address, the download goes to them, I now have their email address. So now I can follow up from a social media post, I can follow up with somebody who now is in my list. And maybe you do it once a week, go through everyone that's new in that list and send out an email to follow up and see if you can set an appointment with them, or send them another, it could be another piece of content that you've created for them. So either one. Let me make sure. I thought I saw a question pop up here. So here's another couple examples of some lead magnets. There's, for some of our clients that we're working with, we just create these images. Oh, audio. Are you guys having audio issues? What's the name again of the graphic tool? Oh, Canva, C-A-N-V-A, Canva. It's super easy to use because you can create, you put in the images, the size you want, or you say this is going to be on Facebook, this could be on Twitter, and it automatically sizes it for you on Canva. So it's really good. Okay, Jamal says he's having audio issues. Anyone else? Maybe not. So yeah, you can see the image is just simply an image, and you want to create the image to be the right size for the platform you're using. So at the bottom of every blog post, maybe you have a standard size that you're going to put every one of your lead magnets, and then rotate those at the bottom of blog posts. Put them on your website. You should, put some of your lead magnets on your website so they're constantly pulling and converting traffic as well, and then they become social media posts for you. And okay, so you guys, that I told you I was going to give you a bunch of these tools, and also I want to make sure I answer more questions. But the tools, so Social Jukebox is one that we use, and this one will, I think, anybody here use Social Jukebox? It used to be called Tweet Jukebox. Now it's called Social Jukebox. Anyone familiar with that? We also use Meet Edgar, and Meet Edgar and Social Jukebox we use the same way for our content inventory. And Social Jukebox, you can take all your lead magnets, so maybe you only have 3 to start. So you put those in Social Jukebox, and Social Jukebox is free. They have a free version, and then if you're adding so many accounts, then it's a paid version. Meet Edgar, it's meet, like I'm meeting someone, Edgar, the person's name, E-D-G-A-R. But Meet Edgar is more expensive, and we use that one for some clients where there's multiple campaigns that have to keep running, and they have start it and stop it dates and things like that. Social Jukebox, what I love about it is you can take your content inventory, and this can be tweets, this can be lead magnets, this can be, if you have a book or an ebook, pull out content from that and put a bunch of tweets together. You load them in the jukebox, and then you say, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., send out 1 tweet every hour from now until eternity. Literally, I always say, when I'm dead, no one will know, because I'm going to keep tweeting. Because I take evergreen content, and this is also what should go into your Tweet Jukebox, into your inventory, is all of your past blog posts. What happens a lot of times is we write a blog post, we promote it for that week, and then we stop promoting it. And 6 months go by and we're like, oh, that post I wrote actually is still really relevant. I should promote that again. Well, with Tweet Jukebox, you don't have to remember that. We put evergreen content, and usually it's all blog content and lead magnets. And at the bottom of every blog post, there's another lead magnet. So you're sending a lot more eyeballs to your lead magnets to convert. So you put those into Tweet Jukebox, and you can have those, they just start sending out. They send out a post with this on it. You can add the image, you have your post. Tweet Jukebox, or Social Jukebox, it's called, we use it just for Twitter, but you can also use it for Facebook. So you could say once a day. You know, the key with automation is use automation sparingly. Like, you still need to be on the accounts to build the rapport and follow people and have conversations, but you shouldn't have to think about what do I need to post this week for my regular content. You should have that already planned out. And if you already have it loaded in there, it'll send it out. Commune, Jamal, let me know how you use it. I've never used Commune, but I see everybody where they send out, I followed you or found you from Commune. Is it similar that you load a bunch of content and then it keeps it going and evergreen? Yeah, let me know if there's anyone that's using another tool. Meet Edgar's one, again, that's you know, at a certain point and you're willing to pay for different things, it could be worth it. It does a few more things than Social Jukebox, but it's minimal. So I always tell people, start with the free tools, and when you outgrow those, move to the paid tools. But yeah, I'm not familiar with if Commune is similar, but Social Jukebox, brilliant tool to make sure that your content doesn't just go out once and you're done. I mean, again, if you take an inventory, and that's part of it, is start with, write down all your blog posts. What are all the blog posts you have? Just create a spreadsheet and the link that goes to each one. Those all can be uploaded into tools like this. It's more than that. It can remind you about people who are engaged. Oh, yeah. See, I hate auto DMs. I'm one of these people, I'm like, the minute I see an auto DM, I usually classify that person as more spammy, even though they may not be. And I know they must work because so many people use them. But an auto DM is, you know, when you follow somebody on Twitter and you automatically get a reply from that person saying, thanks for connecting with me. Check out my ebook on blah, blah, blah. And they'll put a link, or direct message, sorry. And the ones that really get me is the ones that say, I know auto DMs are spammy, but I'm like, then why are you sending them? If you know they're spammy, that's your clue right there not to do it. Yeah, so, you know, you have to look at what you're automating, who your audience is. If it makes you smell spammy, unless you really love spam. I grew up in Hawaii. It's huge. Spam was eaten every day there. But so you might not see that as spammy, but it could limit. If you're trying to build your followers, I would cut the auto DMs. I would be, if you want to send me a message, an @ reply, I'm going to immediately want to engage with you. If it's a DM, only if somehow I could tell that it's a real question. It really bugs me when people ask a question as an auto DM response. Hey, what did you end up doing last week? Or they ask a question of what's the best tool for social marketing that you're using? And I'm thinking they're really asking me a question, and I send it, I never hear back. Be careful. To build your following faster, I say connect with smart people, connect with people strategically using hashtags and keywords that you're searching, and then have real conversations, @ reply conversations instead of DMs. But yeah, you probably don't even do it, but that's what that tool does. So Social Jukebox is used just to keep your content, your lead magnets, in circulation, because you want them going out. You don't want them going out every day at the same time of day, obviously. But you know how Twitter is. You can say, send this out. If you have, you know, a bunch of content, say send one tweet out. Maybe you only do every 4 hours, or maybe you only do every, 6 hours. But then it's going to change the time that it drops the next time. And maybe it's going out, because you've got several pieces of content in there that it's circulating through before it repeats. Okay, so Wiselit is the one that you can schedule for Instagram. That one is a paid service. Hootsuite, you can schedule without paid. So you can do that. Leadpages.net. Canva is the graphic tool that we use. PicMonkey is another one of my favorites. It's another graphic program. The difference between Canva and PicMonkey is for something quick. I want to resize an image, or I want to put text over an image and save it to my computer. But if I realize that after I saved it to my computer and I closed out of PicMonkey and I realized I had a typo in that, I go back to PicMonkey, I have to start over. It's not there. So PicMonkey doesn't save your images inside PicMonkey. You do the work and then you download it. Canva is great for, it's better for branding, because Canva, we load in logos, we load in the fonts, we load in the colors, the exact hex colors that you want for your brand. And then all your images start having a similar look and feel to them. And it saves all your images. So you create something, you download it, and then you go, oh, I need it now resized for Twitter instead of Instagram. I can go back into Canva and I open that same image and I click a button that says resize this for Twitter, and then it resizes it, and then I just kind of make sure it's fixed, download it, and save it. So Canva's awesome, and they do have a free version. It's only when you start using it as a team, like I can create things and make sure my whole team sees and has access to images, and so that is a paid feature. But otherwise, it's great. A paid Buffer account, yeah, Buffer's another great tool for scheduling content, and for now Buffer has they're integrated now with Instagram. There was a big news thing that just came out, I think it was last week, about that. So that's really helpful for Buffer users. But I'm probably talking 1,000 words a minute because I'm going, okay, I have so much information to give you on this. But I'm telling you, this lead magnet missing piece of your content universe will change your game. Because if you start thinking about, okay, great, I'm putting out tweets and I'm connecting with people and having conversations, but how often are you promoting something that's helping to generate leads to your business? So your focus has to be on capturing some of those leads. And then even more important is, what are you doing with them once they go into the email list? Make sure that you either once a month, you send something to them and say, hey, I saw that you downloaded, we have one that's a business self-assessment for social media. People love assessments. So if you can create some fun self-assessment and then people download it, then I could follow up and say, hey, I noticed that you downloaded this assessment. I'm curious what your score ended up, or were there any tips that you found helpful, because it has a bunch of tips for them on how to improve their score. And it's all self-done. It's just a PDF. But I follow up and say, I'm curious what your score was and would love to find out if there's any other tips that we can help you implement. And it's a way for me to set an appointment with them. So really powerful if you're creating some lead magnets that are, the more focused and specific they are, the better. Okay, before I tell you one more thing that we're doing, let me know what other questions. If I missed some of your questions, I'll go back through. Oh, I see questions here. But I also want to tell you, because we just launched this whole thing and building out a membership site, so we're excited about that, but that's still probably 3 weeks away. But another course that we're offering, and we're rolling this out next week, is Power Tools. And it's how do you actually build, what are some of the tools to actually find and follow more people, connecting with people on Facebook. How do you find people on a Facebook page to connect with? And so we have a course that's just rolling out next, I think it's, the 19th. Oh, it's right there on the screen. July 19th, Building Your Social Media Audience. And we're only, it's a $59 course. I said, okay, if you attended live, because then I'm going to change it and take that off if I save these slides. That's why I never like recording webinars, because I feel like, hey, you guys tuned in. There's some benefit there. But we are offering that next week, and it's $29.95. So we're doing that. And I believe the 19th is a week from today. Oh, no, it's not a week from today. It's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm sure of it because I have it on my calendar. But I'll send out it's the link. I know you can't click on the screen and take the link, but the link is there on the screen, and we'll send it out as an email reminder, or you can type it in, Power Tools Social Media Course, with all the little dashes in there, for you. But let me know if there's anything. Connect with me. Obviously, we're connected on social media, but, smart. See, get your phone out and just take a quick picture of, should we all smile before you take the picture? Because you know what's going to happen. You're going to take the picture and my face will be like that. Never fails. It's always, I love how even doing Facebook Live, it always freezes and stops and uses that as your screen, your thumbnail. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you got value from this. I know it was like slamming fast to get this out in an hour, but if you have questions as you're putting this together or you can't remember something, shoot me a tweet, an email, whatever. Beep me, tweet me, any way you can reach me. Smoke signals. I sit near a window so I can even see that. And if you go to our website, our contact form, there's a dot and it says you can send a telepathic message by staring at the dot. Thank you so much, Sandy. It's so good to see your, I was going to say see you, see your face, see your name, see you in here. But thank you guys. I hope you got great value, and I look forward to seeing your lead magnets out there. Send them to me. I need to clickety-click on them so I can see what you've done. So thank you. Thanks, Lisa. You guys have an awesome weekend. Hopefully you guys are doing something fun. We're doing a mud race tomorrow. I don't know how I get talked into these, but we're doing the Muck Fest, one of those obstacle course mud races, and we made our whole family sign up and go, hey, if you are dating any one of our kids, you get recruited in these things. You have to wear ogre shirts. Shrek, the ogres. It's just natural. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. I'm sure I'll share some pictures, and my face will look contorted as always. So have an awesome weekend. Bye, everyone. I'll make sure I answer any more questions. If I see that I didn't get them, I'll scroll through. I see some questions in here, and I'll shoot you the answers. Bye. Thank you. Thanks, Jamal.